Hello again, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Brown's Latest. I'm Dave Grendzynski, and this is where we get you caught up on some of the latest news that involves our favorite team in the AFC North and the entire NFL. That is the Cleveland Browns. Thank you to everyone who has liked our previous episodes, to everyone who has subscribed to the channel, become members of the Browns Latest Dog Pound, and those of you who get your comments in the viewer comment section. Today, they're in London already practicing, but the Browns quarterback situation went from strange to bizarre. Also, just because Shador is QB3, it may not mean a whole lot. I'll explain. I found something the Vikings are actually way worse at than our Brownies. And then down in the viewer comments, why Shador Sanders doesn't need to back up Dillon Gabriel? I don't know. We'll find out what they mean. But first things first, all right, we got a few headlines for you. We know Gabriel's going to start. Conklin and Garrett now both hurt. Garrett took the day off. Something with his ankle or something. But he's a vet, getting rest. I'm not that concerned about it. The Conklin day to day, but Conklin is day to day every single day of every single season. So that's nothing new. Flacco going to be QB2. We talked about that yesterday. He's not budging when asked about it. Stefanski said this is not about one person. Joe is the captain of the football team. We're going to need his leadership going forward. As always, Dillon's handled everything well since he's been on campus here, so just going to have to support the young man. He said that the turnovers played a big role in the switch from Flacco to Gabriel. I say his play calling had a big part of that too. And then when asked again if there was any discussion about bumping Shador Sanders up to QB2, Stefanski said, my focus is on the game. Joe is the backup. Seems like there's dissension in the ranks, doesn't it? Like, he just doesn't seem like he wants to be bothered by it. It's a logical question. Like, why wouldn't, if, you go from QB1 and he's demoted, and you got two young guys and a guy who's not part of your future, why wouldn't you just bump up the two young guys? I haven't found anybody who thinks this makes sense, to take Flacco and drop him to 2 and not 3. If you just need him for leadership, if he's going to be a player coach, make him the emergency quarterback every game. That's the logical thing to do. You've got an able-bodied guy who's the most accurate passer in college sitting there. Why not use him? Why not get him some reps? Get him some valuable experience, especially if we're getting blown out. Why wouldn't you? More on that in a second. You may not have to pay much attention to this whole QB3 thing, and we'll talk about that in a second. But the other thing that we went from strange to bizarre is when the reporters are asking Shador about it yesterday, and he is answering the questions, but not saying any words. He's just moving his mouth like this. I don't know why he chose to do that. I get it. If he doesn't want to comment, just say no comment. Because it doesn't help the situation. Because everybody's frustrated, and this is the last thing. I feel like Stefanski is really losing this locker room, man. And if Gabriel goes out there and starts getting passes batted down and there's worm burners and overthrows and things like that, it's going to come off the rails fast. So there's our first what to watch for on Sunday. Watch for the dissension amongst our own players. So, but here's the thing. This whole depth chart thing could mean nothing at all. Remember DTR? Remember, okay, he had a good preseason, and, Deshaun was there, and then he got hurt, and Jameis Winston was there, and, and he sucked. And in the matter of a heartbeat, then DTR is named the starter because Watson has some mysterious problem or something for that Baltimore game, and DTR is named the starter and goes out there and was brutal. He won the next week against Pittsburgh, but he admitted he wasn't ready. He didn't study the way he should have. He didn't prepare the way he should have. And so he went from off the radar to starting quarterback in 2 seconds. And that is exactly what can happen here, because Dillon Gabriel goes down and you put Flacco in there and he throws one interception, especially home. The fans, when Flacco goes back in, fans are going to be like, why? We have seen this now twice. Why would you put him back in? You are going to lose the fan base if you don't turn to Shedeur after Dillon Gabriel. This is why Stefanski needs to be gone. Or whoever it is that's telling him to do this stuff, they all need to be gone. Because none of this makes any sense. And all it's going to do is fracture the organization within the players, within the fan base. It's just going to cause fractures. That's all you're doing. What are we doing? It doesn't make any sense at all. You finally do the right thing, but then you screw it up by doing the wrong thing. Flacco at QB2 makes absolutely no sense. Drafting Dillon Gabriel in the third round absolutely made no sense. And now Flacco at QB2 makes absolutely no sense. And here's the thing. Was this his plan all along? Or like is that why they got Pickett out of the way? I'm telling you, man, all of this is built on lies. The way it's going, it's all built on lies. All right, anyway. Now, let's talk about this game. Because here's something the Browns the Vikings are worse at this than we are. And actually, they're almost the worst in the league at this. And what is it? Committing penalties. You think we commit penalties? Look at this. The Vikings have committed 37 penalties. That's second in the NFL. Number 1, Jacksonville at 38. 16 procedural penalties, 8 false starts, 4 delay of games, 3 illegal formations, and 12 men on the field. Hey, Christmas is right around the corner because we're like 29 days from Halloween. So I've already seen Christmas commercials. Can you believe it? And this was like 2 weeks ago. I'm seeing Christmas commercials. We are really pushing it when we've got Christmas commercials before October. That's just crazy. But I digress. Back to Minnesota and their penalties. So, and they're banged up, like their offensive line. So there could be some new guys in there. So they could be adding to those false start totals. But the Browns need to take advantage of this stuff. We got a drive extended last week, got a fresh set of downs right around the 50. Remember on that holding call, we got that free 5 yards. It's on third down. So what do? Instead of going back to running the ball because we're getting 4 yards of carry, we chucked it deep twice and then threw a screen pass and was tackled in the backfield. And that was that. Because everybody knows on third and long, you're probably going to run a screen or a draw. We taught the kids that when they were like in third grade. But that's what we run on third down, a screen. Third and long. Jacksonville leads the league. We're 20th. We have committed 27 penalties. What's unique about our penalty situation? We've committed more at home than on the road. We've committed 15 penalties at home and 12 on the road. Only in Cleveland. Of course. You know who has the least amount of penalties? Of course. Pittsburgh. 19 penalties. And of course, Lamar Jackson's gone. Joe Burrow's gone. We're a crap show as usual. We're a Schmidt show. And this division is just set up for Pittsburgh to steal away with Aaron Rodgers. Unflipping real. That's why we got to get our Schmidt together over here and figure out this quarterback thing, this offense, because we got an opportunity here. This division is there for the taking because I still say Pittsburgh stinks. And I'll stick to it. Now, one thing that doesn't stink and that always provides an advantage are the viewer comments. And today we'll start with Sheila Washington, who says Shedeur does not need to back up Dillon. The game plan will be tailored to Dillon. We will wait for Shedeur to get his official start with the game plan tailored to him and his strengths so that he has the best opportunity for success. I like that thinking. He's going to get his shot. Haslam said both rookies will play. So that's what we're banking on. Temporius simply says, I think Dillon Gabriel will be fine. Yeah, I think he'll be fine. He's the teacher's pet. You don't think the teacher's going to send the teacher's pet out there unprepared or set up to lose. So we'll see. And I'll tell you what, if this offense looks completely different, if we're throwing short passes and doing everything we should have been doing the first 4 weeks, I'm going to lose my mind. Just win. Folking says Shador needs first team reps before bumping him up to quarterback 2. Ain't no way you're going to put him out there without those reps. Stop rushing him. I mean, there's that too. Like, I mean, if he's getting scout team reps, he's getting reps at practice. But, I mean, I still think reps are reps. I still think it all helps. Now going up against the first team defense, yeah, that probably is a little bit. But the way practices are anymore, like, I don't know. The way they've watered things down, you can't watch them. You can't, you don't really know what's going on. So that's the other thing with this. We have no idea what's really going on. We just get to see the strange and the bizarre. Chris 5027 says, our wide receivers have sucked since we come back into the league. We really haven't. I mean, Cooper had that flash with Flacco. I mean, we really haven't had much, man. Even when Beckham came here, he was a pain in the Schmidt. And so that's all. I'm going to make Schmidt like a swear word, I think. This way I don't have to swear. I'll just say, kick him in the Schmidt or something. I don't know. Oh, this team will just make you absolutely want to Schmidt yourself. I'm not kidding. Todd Parsley, 5164 says, hi, Grizzer. I believe the Browns are protecting Shador at least until later in the season or until next season when he will take over the franchise. Why would they do this? I have no idea. There you go. See, it's like when you talk about the Browns, you start off and you're like, man, I'm starting to make sense. Then you go, wait a minute, that doesn't make sense. And that is exactly what Todd Parsley did. So why they would do it, I have no idea. And he continues. But if they play him this year, it would only get him ready for next year, when I believe they will hire Deion Sanders as head coach. But the one coach I would go after to take over the Browns no matter what is Bill Cowher. Sound like my buddy. My buddy loves Cowher too, but I think the game has passed Cowher by. But yeah, I mean, he was fine. I mean, he was another one of our coaches, and then he goes to Pittsburgh and becomes the greatest coach. We've had all of the coaches that have become the greatest coach in the NFL right before they became the greatest coach in the NFL. We just get them ready to become the greatest coach in the NFL. They can never be on our team when they're the greatest coach in the NFL. Steve Stone, 17, says, the Browns make us all insane. Well, I appreciate that, Steve. I'll look for you at the Browns Make Me Insane meetings because, it'll be packed. I know it'll be packed because every year we do this to ourselves. But this season is not lost. That's the important thing to remember. 1-3. We're tied with Baltimore. Who had that on their bingo card before the season started? I'm the crazy Schmidt who kept saying we were going to be 3-3. We still got a shot. I think we're beating Minnesota. They stink. They're not that good. If the defense plays the way it has the first 4 weeks, and we get something out of this offense, we're beating Minnesota. Done deal. We also should be running Sampson and Junket. If Sampson if he gets one carry again this week, got to figure that out. I was trying to think of a way to work Schmidt in there again, and I couldn't. But anyway, we're going to end on this. Brandon Lambert, who says, the Browns make me feel smarter every time something new happens. And that is so true. Because just like with Todd Parsley, when you start talking about it, you're like, oh, okay, okay, good. Gabriel's going to start. Okay, that's fine. It's good because Flacco, I mean, that's over. That ship has sailed. So Shador will back him up. What? Shador? QB3? Why? What? Exactly what I'm talking about. I'll tell you, man, they will knock the Schmidt out of you every single time. Every single time. You know what we need? We need the ball. Yes. Now, with Dillon Gabriel in there, are we going to hear this? More than once? Can we break 20 points? Or how about this? Can we at least get the 20 points? Let's start there. I don't want to, I'm thinking big. 21 points. Holy cow. I'm acting a fool. I'm full of Schmidt to be asking for 21 points. So we'll start with 20. Can we get the 20 points this week? Please? Let's start there. Any semblance of offense with the way the defense has been playing, win on Sunday. In merry old England. All right, that's going to do it for today. Woo! This is just always something to talk about with these brownies, isn't there? All right. Yep, that'll do it. Go Browns. We'll see you next time.